The lessons in this video are some of the most powerful in all of Stoicism. For thousands of years, they forged warriors, built empires, and shaped the minds of history's greatest leaders. If you truly apply them, they won't just change how you think, they'll change who you become. Most people misunderstand Stoicism. They think it means not caring and staying distant from life. But Stoicism isn't about apathy. It's about clarity and understanding what truly matters in life. It teaches you to care deeply about what's in your control, your effort, your actions, and your intentions, and to allow everything else to unfold as it will. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno, learned this lesson the hard way. He was a wealthy merchant until one day a shipwreck swallowed everything he owned. In a single moment, his entire fortune was gone. But his life remained, and in the aftermath, standing with nothing, he realized something. He realized that he couldn't change what had happened, but he could change his response. And that shift in perspective didn't just save him, it planted the seed for an entire philosophy. We all face these moments. Plans collapse, people leave, life turns in ways we never asked for. And when it does, we're left with the same choice. We can grip tightly to what's already slipping through our fingers, or we can let go, understanding that in each experience, there are lessons to learn. Our goal shouldn't be to make life obey our plans, but to grow from what actually unfolds. Letting go is recognizing that our energy, like time, is finite, and wasting it on things outside of our control only drains the strength we need to move forward. The key to this mindset is realizing that being a victim of circumstance is a choice. As Epictetus taught, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions of them. The Stoics knew that if you want to reach your potential, you must treat hardship as training. Seneca taught us that difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. When something painful happens, ask yourself, what strength is this building in me? If your business fails, you can consider yourself a failure or build resilience. If you're criticized, you can be offended or build humility. And if nothing goes to plan, you could complain or build adaptability. This mindset doesn't just help you endure hardship, it also changes how you pursue success. To a Stoic, the purpose of a goal is not to control the future, it's to shape the present. You can't control how your efforts are received, but what you can control is the intention, the discipline, and the excellence that you bring to the action itself. Think about how many times you've set a goal, only to walk away when the results didn't arrive in the way that you wanted. Because the goal was based on something outside of your control, not your effort, but the outcome. So the moment progress stalled, so too did your effort. Marcus Aurelius said you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The danger of chasing outcomes is that your motivation becomes hostage to results. And a lack of results means a lack of motivation and self-doubt. Not because you've done something wrong, but because the goal was built on the wrong foundation. The Stoics would remind us that when your goal depends on outcomes, your progress depends on luck. But when it's based on effort, your progress depends on you. And that means you can stay consistent, regardless of results. Over time, that consistency builds momentum, and the results usually follow. Epictetus believed that identifying what we can and cannot control is the most important thing we can do. He said, the chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. So stop setting goals that rely on outcomes and start setting goals that reflect your character. Don't try to get a promotion, try to do great work every day. Don't try to gain followers, try to create something valuable. Because when you focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your efforts, and your actions, you stop chasing and start building. You can turn setbacks into strength. You can stay consistent with your goals. But if you don't get control of your desires, they'll keep pulling you off track. If you want to truly master the art of letting go, you can't be a slave to what you want. You have to learn to master your desires and make them serve you. Epictetus wrote, "Remember that following desire promises the attainment of that of which you are desirous, and he who fails to obtain the object of his desire is disappointed." In other words, the moment you desire something outside of your control, you accept lack and invite disappointment. But the real trap runs deeper than that. Desire, especially for things outside of your control, creates a story in your mind. I need this to feel complete. And once that story takes hold, your peace is no longer in your hands. It's tied to something external, something uncertain and unstable. And even if you do get what you want, it doesn't end there. The satisfaction fades and your mind moves to the next target, and the cycle starts again. Desire doesn't just risk disappointment, it guarantees restlessness, because it tells you that happiness is always somewhere else, just beyond that next achievement. And the Stoics saw through that. They would remind us, do not desire to have, desire to become. Desire virtue, wisdom, and to live with strength and clarity, no matter what happens. Because those are the only desires that bring peace instead of pain. The same is true for aversion. If you fear something and it comes to pass, you suffer twice, first in anticipation and then in reality. This is why the Stoics teach us to let go of desire and aversion, not to become indifferent, but to become free. Real peace comes when you stop needing things to go your way and start focusing on what's right, no matter the outcome. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are doing what is appropriate, do not be distracted by whether people will see it. Do not look for a spectator. Be satisfied with your own conduct." He's teaching us to do the right thing, even if no one notices. To offer help, even if it isn't appreciated. And to act with integrity, even if no one thanks you. Because the moment you stop living for outcomes and approval, and start living by your values, you reclaim your power. Still, some desires run deep and aren't choices, like lust. It's not just a feeling, it's a biological force that's hardwired into us. But that doesn't mean that we're powerless. The Stoics taught that character is built through resistance. Self-restraint isn't about never feeling temptation, it's about choosing not to be ruled by it. Every time you're faced with lust and choose not to indulge, you strengthen the muscle of discipline and take back power over your desires. And just like physical training, the more you resist, the stronger you become. The modern world makes this harder than ever. Every scroll, click, and ad is designed to trigger desire. But that just means more opportunities to practice mastery. You don't need to feel ashamed for feeling desire, but you do need to decide, will I act on impulse, or will I use this moment to train something greater in me? Lust is a test, and each time you choose not to indulge, you're forging a mind that no longer chases, but leads. Instead of indulging in a temporary feeling, choose to forge an everlasting Stoic mindset. This is why they say discipline is freedom, because when life tries to pull you in different directions, letting go will keep you grounded. Because the art of letting go is the art of self-mastery. Epictetus told us that no man is free who is not master of himself.